Bob Pockrass, Fox Sports. If you were in charge of RCR, how do you handle that? Or did you view anything of that as over the line, or when you're racing to get in, is there really almost no line in those situations?
Yeah, I don't know what you do. You know, I was sitting there thinking about that, talking about that in those final handful of laps. You got two sets of teammates sitting there with Gibbs and RCR, and you've got, arguably two or three of those guys out of that group that have to win. And what do you expect them to do, right? I can understand anybody. I can understand Richard or Austin or Creed's frustration, but they were doing what they have to do to win, and it's tough. It's hard to. It's the playoffs and the elimination races and everything puts us in those situations that we've never been in before with teammates. And you got a car capable of winning the race, but your teammate needs this, and another one needs that, and you can't really go out and just have an objective of your own, an agenda of your own. And it's not unfortunate is not the right word, but it just puts us in unique situations now that we never really watched people experience or been a part of before. And I wouldn't have wanted to be Richard at the end of that deal, and I certainly wouldn't have wanted him. I guess when it was getting ready to have that restart, I didn't envy his position, and I certainly don't envy it now. But I listened to Creed's post-race interview, and I can't argue with anything he said. He moved him. We all know that short tracks, using the bumper and to move people out of the way is pretty much fair game. He allowed Austin a chance to race. He didn't send him into the wall. He didn't knock him back to sixth. He just got him up off the bottom, and both of those guys did a little bit of that all night, I didn't see anything just obviously blatant or man, that's totally uncalled for. I didn't see really any of that. But you're not going to have that go on and not be frustrated either way. So, you got a guy leaving. There's some dynamics there that are their feelings are hurt or what have you. And Creed, with Creed moving on or Richard Childress and them moving on from Creed, however you want to look at it. So you got a driver in Austin Hill that they really believe in and want him to be part of their long-term future, And Austin Hill, I talked to him on my podcast this week. He talked about how he was so frustrated so many times he was going to go to Martinsville and wasn't going to allow that to happen again. And and that goes down. So tough situation for them to be in. And when you rate, I'll say this, and this was certainly something I experienced earlier in the year. When you put fast race cars on the racetrack, they're going to run up front and they're going to run into each other. And we got young guys out there trying to make a name for themselves. They're not veterans. They're not old teammates that have been buddies for decades. They're young guys that don't really know each other that well, and they don't have a loyalty to each other. And that's what the Xfinity Series and Truck Series is about. You got these guys that come in and out of these cars in brief periods, and so they're going to bounce into each other and piss each other off, and you're going to have conversations on Mondays and Tuesdays that aren't fun to try to keep it going in the right direction, and that's just part of it.